Is there any question based on yesterday's lesson? No?
Okay, the first question is, I want to know about the trading, like.
Come again? Is there a question? Brown? I think, okay. So the proposal came up that I should explain what why this trade did not go as planned, because this is which strategy. Today we are going to talk about the strategy that we started yesterday. Definitely. I was just giving some little questions that came up in the course of the day. Yeah. So a question came up that could I please explain why this US 30 trade behaved the way it did? Like, I called for a buy here. I was actually expecting, on a serious note, I was expecting this to happen here. But when I called this, right, I had learned that the Dow is rising and the XPX is actually the jobless, there's a word for it, XPX. So okay, yet Standard and Poor's in the base in the US, right? So the amount of jobless claims in the US is being affected by this market a lot, affects the XPS market a lot. And also the Dow Jones also affects the market a lot, because if the stocks that are under the Dow Jones, that are under US 30 are falling, meaning 30 companies are actually falling, if that happens, then there are a lot of jobs that are at risk. And if jobs are at risk, XPX is going to fall. If Dow Jones is climbing or it's rarely, it means these companies are having a good time, or in other words, investors are there, the market is moving well, maybe even new jobs are coming to the market. In that case, XPX is going to rise as well. In this case, I sent this buy because I noticed the Dow was buying. Also, DJ30 was buying, and all these markets are being affected they are being affected the same way. Meaning, if I send a buy on US 30, expect to receive a buy signal on XPX and expect to receive a buy signal on DJ30. They are 99% the same, 99, not 100. If I send a sell on US 30 on XPX or on DJ30, expect to see a sell as well on the rest of them. These three candidates over here, they run the same. NAS has nothing to do with them. These three can be running up and NAS is going down. The three can be running up and NAS going up as well. Very possible that they don't really have a connection. They have a connection to each other, but they don't depend on each other. So the reason why this trade went down was because at this point in time, I was calculating for this breakthrough. I was calculating for the breakthrough over here to cross the blue line and go and actually skyrocket till this level. This is the level I expected to skyrocket to here. That would have been the first TP, and this would have been the second TP. But a news came out at this same time, this same moment. A news came out which pulled the market down. I couldn't see that coming. That's why there is this picture that says my tweets are powerful than your technical analysis from Trump or something in that direction. And that's what happened to us. So what I did then was I calculated the pullback, right? And expected it to pull back till where? Guess where? Definitely to support, right? When we have, this is the resistance, you guys all know. Sorry. This is the resistance, and this here is the support, right? So we were around this level, and we are pulling back down. I expected the first rejection to be here at this, from this level here, from this from this support, and the second rejection, in case market defeats this level, it should reject latest here, because at this moment, market would have oversold exactly. So I was expecting this rejection here or this, but I was not thinking of sending a buy again because we were already in a buy here. So that being said, I said hold and exit in your entries. The reason why I said exit in entry and don't let it ride was because the news that came out is pulling the XPX market, the SPX market way too down than up. So XPS is on a long run. This is a 1 minute time frame, but on a 5 minute time frame or on a higher time frames in a downtrending market, this is the confirmation as well. You see that the blue line, the gray line is below the aqua, right? So sorry, the aqua line is below the gray, which tells us we are in a downtrending market. Even though on a 1 minute time frame, you might think we're on an uptrending market here, but this is exactly what we should not do. Check the market direction on a higher time frame. Always check the market direction on a higher time frame. Oh, this is a good sell here. So that being said, I don't know who actually asked this question, but is it understood why XPX actually went down? Delete everything. Where guys say something. Okay, if not, you can always write me to me. So that being said, we'll continue from where we ended yesterday. Today, we are still going to revise what we did yesterday and try to see how accurate it is. So first things first, we need the trades I called today. Actually, I did not use the RSI nor the ADX. None of the above. Is that what you're asking? Gold drop. Sorry. Gold drop. Okay. So great. We all have this, right? We all have this on our chart. So we spoke yesterday about the 20 level on the ADX. This is it. I always mark it, and I mark the 40s and the 60s. Great. So what have we learned? We've learned we've learned what? We've learned to see perfect and holy entries like this, right? To know when we are getting into the market. This is one. Here as well, we've also learned, to know what's wrong with the chat. We've also learned so what was so perfect and holy, and we've learned consolidation to know where market is preparing itself to go to, right? So we've learned when to get into the market. We've learned the direction of the market in case market is consolidating, and we've learned when to look for liquidity in the market, right? That is when the white line here, or the DX to be precise, not the white, is the ADX, actually, that's its name. When the ADX is around the 20s, coming from up, not coming from down, coming from up. You get it right? That means, for example, this. So when market is here, expect liquidity in the market. We're on the 20s, expect liquidity in the market. Because at this point in time, let's just zoom out. I'm going to remove the RSI for today. Am I recording? Yes. At this point in time, we've learned that this is today, right? This is today, yes. So let me just mark the charts. There we reached, there we touched. We're coming from above here as well. We're coming from above here as well, right? So let's just take a look at the chart, what happened. We came from above the white line and got in here. So at this point in time, you're on your chart and you're on this candle. You are analyzing when or what direction are you taking? Are you going in for a buy or are you going in for a sell? Best case scenario is when, what did I say? You are actually overbought or oversold, and you're either at a resistance or support, and everything is way too easy. In case of consolidation, which is the case here, you then need the RSI to tell you where the market is consolidating to. Sorry, let's get the RSI back. It's at the 70s and 20s, no big deal. We don't actually need it at this moment. I don't need the, let me just put it, so just avoid trouble, misunderstanding. We are going to do something new today. We are going to add on what we've done yesterday, but we are going to add only if we've actually understood, right? So in case of consolidation here, we check the market direction. Market is actually also consolidating, isn't it? Consolidating. So, but in this case, it's actually very difficult to tell if market is, if the RSI is dropping or not. So you need to check it somewhere brighter, like when you scroll out, you go to higher time frame. We're on DJ30. Okay, we go back to where we marked the chart. Go back to where we marked the chart here. Consolidating here and also consolidating. In that case, it's really difficult to see this, isn't it? So according to the knowledge we have now, what do you do there? You don't get into the trade because you have no idea of what is going to happen, isn't it? You have no idea here of what is going to happen. You're just waiting and waiting and waiting, hoping that you see that the buyers get in power. Okay, that is when you have no idea where the market is actually going to. If the RSI was actually consolidating to a certain direction and you knew where you were going to, for example, a buy, you would wait to see you would wait to see a bigger buy candle which swallows a little candle which its previous little candle, right? For example, this. You would wait to see this candle bigger than this candle, and when this candle is finished, you go in for your buy. If it was a sell, you would wait to see this candle swallow this candle, which is the case, and you go in for a sell, hoping that the buyers are empowered, meaning the yellow line, sorry, for a sell, the sellers are empowered, meaning the yellow line has flipped below the red line, and you have the red candle body, which is bigger than the blue candle body. For a buy, you would have the yellow line above the red, which means the buyers are in power at that time, and you have one big buy candle, which is way larger than the previous candle, be it a buy or a sell. Any questions to what we did yesterday, and any questions to the short revision? I have no notes, I have no PDFs, everything is from my mind. So basically, maybe I have forgotten to mention one or two things. And definitely there are people here that did not attend yesterday's class, but I will not put that under consideration because you need to have watched yesterday's class to understand today. But is there any question to the little revision I've given before we move forward, because it's getting more complicated? It's getting more complicated but fun. Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, this.
Hello? Oh.
Yes, I'm getting
Something. Okay. Since this area was a consolidation, yeah. Yes. Like, I don't know. I understand what you said by the big red candle.
I'm not getting you.
But I don't know. I'm just like something just popped in my mind. What about something like a breakout and then this pullback that happens at you? Is it also a good criteria to enter it back?
I couldn't get that. It was so low. The volume was so low.
Okay, I see. What about is it better?
Can someone get him, or is the problem my laptop?
No, it's from him. Like no one can hear him.
Okay,
Low.
microphone. Is it better?
Yeah, it's way better. Way better.
Okay. I'm saying I understand what you said by a red candle swallowing the smaller blue candle for a sell, and then the blue candle swallowing the red for a buy. But I'm asking, is this breakout and pullback? It's called the last kiss or something? I don't know. Is it also a good criteria for a buy? This breakout and pullback that happened above.
This one.
Yeah. No, above, up.
This one.
No, the next candle.
This one.
Yes, and then the pullback that happened.
The pullback is here. Also, you mean this and this?
Yes, exactly.
What you actually want to analyze is if you have buyers in power for a buy. If you know that at this moment in time, we who are entering the market to buy are actually winning the market. So you need to get a buy candle. If best case scenario, if you have two buy candles next to each other, whereby the last buy candle is bigger than the previous candle. In this case, in this case here, it's not the case, but you can already tell that this buy candle here is way bigger than this sell. So you would have already entered at the beginning of this candle here. But if you came into the market and noticed that, okay, good, you are here and the market is already buying, you should be able to analyze that you missed this entry, right? And if you have missed this entry over here, this is already, I think we're on German 30. This is, I think, 10 pips you should have missed. So you analyze that for yourself. You analyze that risk for yourself, because I go by, if I miss, I miss.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Exactly. So you just like here, I wouldn't have entered here because I see that it's actually descending and the selling candle is way bigger than this. Then it started buying, right? Buying. And you know that the last criterion is to reject on the aqua line. I always say market looks for a way to reject the aqua line, right? Here is a rejection, here's a rejection, here's another rejection, and here's another rejection. So latest here, you should know that, okay, good, this is is that understood?
Yes, yes, it's understood. It's understood.
Ask all your questions. Good. Lotsa says how you see liquidity in the market is from the ADX, this part over here. You see the liquidity when the ADX line, actually it is the white, right? It is the white. Is when the ADX line comes from above and gets towards the 20s. This is the 20 here. I actually marked it myself, like the line is not there on normal basis. So you just try to place it there by yourself. You place a horizontal line there and you just wait for this white line to come close to the 20s. So at this moment, you are expecting liquidity in the market. So what mostly happen, right, when you have this is you have what you call a consolidation occurs while it is below, right? Below, consolidation occurs here below, and normally when it comes out, it should be actually this. You should see the liquidity actually coming out. But most of the time, it does not go beyond the 80, the 20. The reason why all this is happening is just because of the elections and all this. If you go back in time in history or some months ago, you would notice the white line hardly crosses the 20s. It hardly crosses. Get it? Also on the RSI, we have noticed that the RSI has even gone to holy entries, even on the 45-minute chart. That does not happen every day. It's just because of elections and stuff and all the corona and everything up and down. But on normal basis, when you're doing your technical analysis, like here, for example, you see the liquidity, when the market hits this line, expect a lot of liquidity in the market sometime in the future, sometime in the nearest future, you have this. Again, here, you have this, right? And it actually stays there, drops. When you come here again, consolidates a little, you have a little bit of liquidity, which is really not that much. Have we understood how to get liquidity in the market? Because that's just all we did yesterday. We did liquidity. You could figure out when there is liquidity. You can now use the RSI to know where the market is going to in case the market is consolidating. You can know your entries in case you are perfect or holy. That is buy or sell, isn't it? So can we move to the next step? I just need one yes in the chat. Lots of your question answered. Everyone, can we move to the next step? Okay, great. So now the next step is this. We assume we caught this buy, right? We caught this buy, this liquidity over here. When let me put it in a different way. Let me look for a good example. Good. So this is crazy. I'm looking for good examples because of this. This is the point. Just know that, okay, this is your take profit. It's not really accurate at the moment because of your technical analysis you cannot rely on technical analysis right now in time. Right now in time, you guys know why everything happening. The moment the white line goes off the liquidity market and starts climbing, the moment it reaches the 40s, expect market rejection. Expect a rejection in the market. Be it you are buying, be it you're selling. At that moment, expect rejection. Do we get it? For example, at this place in time, we noticed here there is liquidity. We actually bought, went out. We noticed the liquidity is still there. So we are actually figuring out what to do. Let's assume we got into this trade for a sell. You see it's selling here, but the ADX is actually the average directional index is actually climbing. So there is more power. This preparation, this liquidity was actually preparing itself to sell in the long run. It sold, and here is a rejection. I can't give a lot of examples right now because it's just poor. But what we are going to get now is this, which is new. Okay, now there is a way as well to figure out with the ADX if you are buying or if you are selling. Well, I've given you guys everything. Oh, but it's not even that easy if you want to implement it. Okay, good. For a buy, right? For a buy. You look at the blue line. The blue line is the plus, is the DI plus. This is blue. You might have it on your chart as red or whatsoever you want to put it, right? Let me show it. The blue line is the DI plus. The red is the DI minus. You can put it no matter what color you want. So this is the algorithm. If the DI plus, that is the blue, is above the red, expect to buy. It tells you market is buying. Let's analyze this and let's just test it. We see this moment. No, let's go back because we need the liquidity and we need exactly here. We've noticed there's liquidity here, right? So we now keep waiting and looking at this, and we notice the more the blue and the red depart from each other, the stronger the market direction. If the blue is above, we are buying. Always understand it that way. The blue indicates the market direction. If the blue is up, you buy. If the blue is below the red, you're selling, right? Just look at this. The blue is below, and the ADX gives us liquidity, tells us there's liquidity, and it's departing from each other, and what's happening in the market, it's buying. It's buying and keeps buying, keeps buying, and keeps buying. The moment the ADX comes back to zero, you know there is another liquidity. It could be this time around for a sell, right? And let's check the sell. This is a sell here, right? This is a sell. See what happens with the blue. The blue crosses, the red goes above, but the blue is pointing down. So the blue, since the blue is below, you're selling. And see what happens. This is the line, right? Sells, 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 sells. Just see what's happening right now. So if I actually close this and I ask, what's the market doing at this moment? What are you going to say? Okay. What are you going to say, buy or sell? Let's just watch this. See what's happening. You see what's happening with the blue? Exactly. We think the market is buying, right? And the ADX as well is going towards the 20s. It means it's even preparing itself to buy strongly. And the more they depart from each other, the stronger the buy. Let's look at this. Consolidating actually, and there. Let's just take some few examples. What's happening here? Okay, we are still on something similar. Okay, what's happening here? Oh, perfect entry. So let me check that. No, it's not perfect. No, it's not perfect. Let's go to NAS 100 since NAS is different. What is this? Is the market much? It's almost, what will you say here? Buy or sell? I think I need to expand this because we can actually see where market is going. So, yeah, like this. Right?
The market is selling.
Exactly. It's selling, but maybe not so strong because the difference between both are not that much. It's not that much, right? Like, look at this. This is a big sell. We could tell this is a big sell. As you should be able to tell this. This is sell. Oh, guys, knowledge is powerful. Huh? You see, that's how simple it is to make money. You just have to know. Look at gold. What is this? Big sell as well, right? And what is happening right now? It's selling and selling
Still selling.
and maybe consolidating. Oh, that's a big sell. And yes, but now the thing is, don't just look at it right now and say, good, since it's selling, I am going to enter the market and sell. See where there's so many things to check, right? But you need to know these little things to put them together in your analysis to be as accurate as possible. To be as accurate as possible. Let's go back and check some other one. Let's check the French. Whoa, what is this? What is this? This is a big sell. I mean, everybody could. And there is liquidity. Look at this. This is the wide. It's around the 20s. Why didn't you check? 40. NAS 100. Why didn't it reject when it touched the ADX 40? Okay, let's go to NAS. Let's go to NAS 100. Sorry. When it reached the NAS, this is NAS 100. It did not reject. This is the 40. Right. Good. We have to be. We should always understand that no matter what you learn in trading, right, it is never 100%. Even if I say, even the holy entry does not mean when it is holy, the market must buy or the market must sell at that moment. To a higher probability, the market respects what it has to do. That is why we will always say, and I will always tell you, your technical analysis are only as strong. Your technical analysis is strong when the economy is actually stable, like when things are moving well, like okay. Stable not in the sense of good, not in the sense of bad, but when everything is normal. You get it? When everything is normal, not when there's election or there is, I don't know, there is a lockdown period right now, or lockdown has ended. At that moment, fundamental analysis is in power. You like it or not, fundamental analysis is always going to win. But expect the rejection around the 40s. See, look at this. Look at this. This is something else. It went up to the 6 and above. You can also see this on the RSI. Break and came down. Also on a 5-minute time frame, almost the same thing. See, almost the same thing. But the goal for us is to understand the direction of the market with the ADX as well. It is never 100% accurate. There's nothing in this way that you say, okay, good, this is this, this is this, is 100% accurate. You can only get as accurate as possible. So what I will learn today, when there's liquidity, you can actually tell with the RSI where market is going to. Okay, question. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. That's it. No matter, sometimes these politicians, one tweet from them can, like, for example, what happened yesterday, right, on US 30, and so just simple news. One common human being will just come and hold a speech, and you see the whole world is going to somewhere else. The whole chat is disrespecting all the laws of physics just because vaccine is out. There is no technical analysis that will support you at that moment. Nothing. That's why my trades, the trades I sent, are not even based on technical analysis only. Or they are not just based on technical analysis only. There's a lot of things I check. So at this point in time, what could be this? We should be able to see this and like imagine what's going on, right? This was a buy. There was a little buy here in the market, but market is almost consolidating and there is liquidity. So there is preparation of something. But if I check now the RSI, I see there is a strong sell. There's a strong sell, which also makes sense because you see the red going up. If the red is going up means and the blue is coming down, it means the blue wants to get into the direction of sell, right? So here there is a good sell. We could even remove this because the RSI tells a lot also, even though the RSI can sometimes go the opposite. This is a sell and liquidity. Let's check that. Oh, that's a sell and there's liquidity. So the market is preparing to do something. Is that too much for today? Guys, is that too much for today? So we should be able to see, like, check where
No.
I know it's not easy. It's not that easy, I understand. But you can never know if you are buying or selling if you just check the ADX. It would never give you a very accurate stuff. What the ADX is good at is giving you liquidity spots in the market for the meantime where we are. It's giving you liquidity spots and it's telling you what you should be looking to do. So if you are consolidating at that moment and the RSI is telling you to sell, the RSI is maybe dropping and the chart is consolidating, meaning you are maybe looking to buy, and the ADX as well is telling you that you should buy because the blue line is above the red, that you're just adding your accuracy before you're taking the trade. You're just getting more confirmations before you take the trade. So that's the lesson. That's the lesson. We collect as many tools as possible to get as accurate as possible. Look at this. This is very stupid. This is the 20 and we are below here all the time. Buy, sell. This is consolidation. This means consolidation the whole time. And that's why we have this almost at the same place. If you check it, if you look at it like this, even though it's really strong, but since this is this is US 30 means it's a lot. It's a lot. This little could be a lot. This is a buy right now at the moment. All right. So that being said, I won't give a lot today because we have a lot we have been doing. I mean, we have the RSI, we have the perfect entries, we have the holy entries, we have consolidation and market direction, we have liquidity, we have second confirmation of market direction, we have the trend-based Fibonacci extension, all done just in 2 weeks. You should revise and revise and revise. And all this I've been giving are the minor strategies. The two major strategies I have that I used to call the trades, we have not even begun. Not even begun.